Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Tom from 6 Foot Networks. Thank you for joining me here on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. It is April 30th, 2022, the last day of April. My goodness, where is all this time going? Can't believe we're just about around the corner from Memorial Day. It's crazy how fast this year is going, but anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. I wanted to quickly do an update video on my Chevy Bolt buyback with what's happened over the last few days. It's actually kind of an interesting situation. So over the last few videos, I haven't had too many updates about it because GM was having a hard time finding finding somebody at my local dealership here in Valencia, California to handle the buyback for the car. So I guess one thing led to another, and GM finally pulled out and said, okay, we'll find another dealership and, we'll see if we can get the paperwork started, yada, yada. Anyway, fast forward to this past week, so the last week of April, and on Tuesday I had spoken to GM, who had mentioned that they had submitted the paperwork to a dealership here in Northridge, California, which is about, I don't know, 25 miles from where I live. And that dealership had I can't say that word. They basically made a preliminary statement saying that that they would proceed and help facilitate the buyback. So that was on Tuesday. So my calls with GM are typically Monday afternoon or Tuesday during the day. So nothing really came from that other than just a notification that they, finally sent the paperwork to the dealership, and now they're just in a pile of, I guess other, processes that need to be handled by the dealership. So whenever they get to it. On Wednesday, I get a phone call from the dealership in Valencia, and they say, hey, we just received your request to do the buyback. And I said, what request? And the guy read off kind of the information that I had originally submitted. I think it was back in January. And they said they just got it. So which blows my mind, because as you guys know, GM was already working with them. I had actually shown up to the dealership once and asked them about it. I was trying to get the battery fixed. I was trying to, get some sort of traction and momentum and get the car into the dealership. But for some strange reason, either A, nobody knew anything, or B, they were just not willing to play ball. So depending on who I talked to and what side of the bed their, managers woke up on, depended ultimately what kind of service I got, and none of it was positive. And I actually shared my, distaste of the dealership with GM, and it kind of helped move the process along. There was an escalation that happened internally at GM about my case because of the lack of response, like just total silence. No, they wouldn't even reply to the email saying we're not interested or whatever. So we had to wait an additional 30 days just to let that process time out, and then GM could move on. So it's really a shame what the dealerships are doing, but they are losing out on free money essentially, because GM is paying the dealership for their time, their efforts, and ultimately the transaction. So the dealerships would only be giving up, potentially, some staff and some time. And I don't know how much time they would be giving up anyway, because they're just facilitating a key swap, right? GM would send them a vehicle, they would have to probably look it over, whatever, and then I would be scheduled to come down and essentially, here's my old key, there's my Bolt TV, here's the new key, here's your new Bolt TV, or whatever. I assume it's that simple. But really interesting how that kind of transpires. So now we have these guys back, in the loop. And I did tell the guy, I said, listen, I started this process in January. GM's been trying to reach you guys for 65 days or whatever it's been. And I went there in person, and now you're telling me that you're just getting my request? Well, what about GM's request? What about GM's voicemails? What about my voicemails? What about, the messages that I left there in person with the sales managers and all that stuff, to trying to get to talk to somebody about getting stuff figured out? Well, here we are, folks. GM moved on to the next dealership, and my local dealership's like, hey, we just got your request. So I don't know what to make of this anymore. All I know is that I did call GM. It was, this happened, I think, Wednesday, Thursday. And Thursday, I called GM back. I left them a message, but I haven't heard back from them. So this was literally 2 days ago. And we'll see what this week brings, because I do have a weekly call with GM where they update me. So hopefully they got my message, and hopefully they'll be able to, either work with my local dealership. I don't know if like they destroyed it and just started over the process. I don't know how that internally, how that works. And I don't know if once they move on, they can't come back, or if they can, great. If they just say, oh, okay, great, so we'll reach out to them and whatever. Hopefully, I'm optimistic about getting through this, I don't know, next few weeks, hopefully. And then however long it takes to actually receive, the ordered vehicle. I assume there's going to be an order placed, and they're going to probably deal with that delay, whatever the availability is. So, we'll see. So that's about it. It is about 100 degrees out here, so it's a little bit out of profile for April, actually April/May in Los Angeles. It's typically, high 80s, low 90s, but it's literally 102 right now. So I'm cooking, but the good news is that it's dry heat. It's not, it's desert heat. It's not, a steam oven where the humidity is up there. But I think I'll leave it there. I don't have really anything else to update you guys on. Like I always say, the car's driving great. I drive it every day, and this process, although it's just very lengthy and communication's horrible, it's not as bad as I fear it could have been. I feel like they could easily smooth out a lot of this if, they dealt with the customers directly. I feel like people would be more receptive of saying, hey, we'll have to make you wait for 4 or 5 months until all the process and paperwork is complete before we can actually ship your car. And then you will have to drop off your car somewhere or have it picked up by GM, or, I don't know how they do things. It's close to the vest. I tried to poke and prod a little bit. I did get some financial data out of GM where they told me that ultimately they're paying for GM is paying for the dealership's time to complete the transaction. So whatever that hourly established rate is, or whatever that flat rate is, I don't know how they do it. I'm pretty sure it's a significant chunk of change. And I even offered, I think I've said this before, but I even told the woman at GM, I said, hey, listen, I'd be more than happy, even though it'd be an inconvenience for me to go to the bank or whatever, I'd be more than happy to accept your check for the dealership in lieu of dealing with the dealership. I'd be happy to accept that payment and give you my car. In fact, I'd be willing to even, have it shipped to GM wherever it needed to be before I get my car, like out of good faith or whatever. And she, jokingly kind of, had that that mellow laugh, like, oh, okay. Well, and it didn't go anywhere. It was just kind of a funny, haha, like, steal from the dealership and just get it done, That'd been great. I could use the extra cash. Anyway, folks, happy Saturday. Happy last day of April. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'll keep you guys posted. For those of you who are interested in the saga, I've been doing a lot more work over the last this past week, on a lot of the IT projects that I'm working on, trying to get stuff closed out. A lot of turns out that a lot of the IT stuff I was working on, I couldn't get clearance to actually shoot, record, and do stuff on. So I'm going to try to maybe do some nonchalant screenshots or something, and try to do a voiceover or something. But you know, those 2 videos that I wanted to do a week ago on some of the IT stuff kind of fell through, which is it's the nature of my work. Some clients just won't play ball when it comes to YouTube because they're afraid of either, you know, sensitive information leaking or something being recorded on the video. I even offered to have them screen the video after I created it. Right before upload, I would have been willing to send them the video and get them to approve it, but they denied that. So sorry about that, guys. To those of you who are here for some of the IT stuff, it's tough. It's really tough. But I'll try to maybe do some generic stuff, non-client centric, and then get some more content for you guys out there over the next few weeks or so. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your weekend.